gig for the CIA. Who calls you for that?
Yeah.
You ever get one of those calls?
No.
No, I never got one of those calls.
And my agent never hit.
Joe Rogan didn't accuse anyone, but what he pointed out made people look at everything differently, almost instantly. It started with a moment that felt off. A resurfaced clip showed Erika Kirk speaking in what looked like a CIA-related production. But it wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. Calm, precise, like someone who wasn't guessing, but knew. Rogan paused right there. Not for drama, just long enough to make people notice. Because access like that isn't random.
Erika Kirk was fully aware of and helped facilitate the plot to kill her husband. We're going to start by breaking down an inner.
And once that question was out there, everything else started to shift. Then people went back to the timeline. A freak accident most had already accepted as random suddenly didn't feel so simple anymore because of when it happened, right as rumors were building that Charlie Kirk's sister might speak publicly. And then, nothing. No statement, no appearance, just silence.
Why doesn't anybody know anything about Charlie Kirk's parents? I just saw a video about this, and it had literally never occurred to me that no one is talking.
And that's when people started connecting things. Because on their own, none of these details prove anything. But together, they don't feel random either. And this is where it gets strange. Because the more people looked, the more questions started showing up. If you're following this so far, stay with me. Because Rogan didn't stop there. He went back, not to confirm anything, but to question something deeper.
Day this information came out. Now, if you remember, Sheriff Nate Brooksby's friend, a retired deputy.
How fast a narrative gets locked in. How easily something gets labeled as random before anyone really looks closer. And how rare it is for people to question the version they're given. That's when the conversation changed. It wasn't about proving anything anymore. It was about whether the full story was ever told in the first place. Because now you had timing that didn't feel right, access that didn't seem normal, and silence that came exactly when people expected answers.
Making crazy eyes.
No.
There's a video of her making demon eyes, and every time she makes the eyes, the music.
And none of it, on its own, sounded alarming. But together, it felt different. Rogan never said there was a plan, but he didn't say there wasn't one either. And that's what stuck with people. Because if everything really was just a coincidence, why do so many pieces line up a little too perfectly? Or worse, were they meant to?